I just started thinking about the very funny contrast between the life that I live and the life that all sorts of people live. You see these things online and in magazines and stuff, they just go on for years, like these supposedly feuding people, right? Just feuding celebrities. I don't know, I mean, it's just, you hope that people can find better things to do with their time than just like make things difficult for each other or engage in a feud or like fuel rumors of a feud or do anything except just try to avoid feuds altogether. But what really made me laugh was like, I don't know, I just read some article about how, I guess it was a Taylor Swift and Katy Perry at an awards show, something like that. I don't remember which awards show it was, but it was talking about, like the article was talking about how the people who were organizing the show like did everything they could to try to make sure that they never had to be around each other. I mean, I imagine that sort of thing happens a lot, right? But I was so trying to imagine like all these women all together at the Pine Street Inn, and like the total no effort, really for the most part, that I think most of the staff would make to try to like, you know, make sure that like feuds were not like ongoing, but or like, oh, you know, Miss Swift, you can't sit over in like this row because, you know, waiting for dinner, waiting to be called for your 10 minutes at dinner because Miss Perry is going to be in this row, so can you just make, or like, I mean, just like, or like all behind the scenes, like walkie-talkies, making sure like the wholeness, oh, there's practice number 3, it was just practice from the Pine Street, I'm not sure why, you know, like, oh great, JC, there was just, oh this is great, there was just well, a great I'm seeing in a sarcastic way, there was just some kind of ad on there that said JCD, and then there are these ads to show the mom kissing the baby, you know, I just am so tired of this stuff. Anyway, yeah, I just can just imagine like how totally it would not happen to have all the staff running around with like their walkie-talkies being like, oh, you know, Miss Swift, she's like, you know, 25 feet away, and Miss Perry is like, she's on her way in. Distract Taylor. or like any other sorts of like feuds that go on between like celebrity women. I could just imagine them all, like, if you're imagining them all like at the Pine Street Inn, you know what I mean? Like if something serious is happening, you kind of have to figure out what to do. Talk to. You really have to get the right staff person, you know, to kind of just address it. And it's sometimes things don't get addressed. And I've had to really pay attention to what I'm doing and who I'm talking to and make my plan about what I'm going to say to whoever it is to deal with what I have to get done. I mean, I've had some pretty dangerous situations. I don't think the recent one was particularly dangerous, except that it could have gotten out of control in terms of people really bullying me a lot, but it doesn't seem to be going that way. It seems to be all right. But I just couldn't help laughing. It just struck me as being so funny. Like they have these like all sorts of events, right? They have award shows, they have all kinds of things, and you have like probably these teams of people, you know, who are aware of all like the secret feuds or the public feuds or the imagined feuds or whatever kind of feuds are happening among all these other people, and so everyone's constantly doing like basic surveillance, right? Surveillance throughout the entire event to make sure like such and such person doesn't end up like next to such and such person or within 20 feet of each other or whatever it is, you know. And I could just imagine them all having lived together at the Pine Street Inn, and how much, if you know, if it were like a more like, if they actually had to be treated like homeless people, how much pretty much nobody would care. They'd be like, you know what, seriously, if you don't both shut up, you have to, you're both gonna get kicked out.